Hi there, so we are going to do some hip work, working on our hip mobility. So we're going to do some stretches and strengthening perhaps. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to use one ball just to get some loosening in my hip. You can use also your elbow. So choose which one you want to do. And you're here sitting in a position. And from here, all I'm going to do is going to rub the ball in to the very side of the hip and the glute. So I'm here and I'm just pushing in and digging in. I can feel a lot of conversation, ooh la la, from my workout yesterday. So we're getting to the fascia and the hips. So we're just loosening up. And sometimes it can feel, if you're going in with your elbow like this, it can feel a little bit gristly as well. If it's tight, this is a good thing to do before you do your hip mobility. Okay, breathing deeply as you move through. Maybe stay on a spot that says, hello, I'm very intense today. I need some release. So let's swap over. Let's get into that other side. So I'm here. And I'm just pulling in through this booty. Rolling around, feeling any sensations, digging in, pushing in. Remember, the elbow can go in like this, and you're getting the same release. It's just a little bit more awkward if you don't have that ability to bend in that way. So I find the ball a little bit more practical. You could also use your thumb, grab that tush of yours and start to meander through. Okay, so let's go into a Gomakasana stretch. So you're crossing over to sitting here. You're pulling your knees towards each other. They don't have to be totally central, that's okay. That just means that we're tight in the hips. Now, an alternative, because this might be a little bit not up your alley, is just bringing one leg across like this and one leg straight. So you're here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, oh my gosh, this feels a lot. Exhale, I've got this. If you want to add a little bit of a stretch, you could bring your hands up and stretch over into your side body a little bit. And fold forward. Try to keep both cheeky cheeks down. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I like to listen to music whilst I stretch, but due to the copyright nature of this world, we can't share it. But it's always important to make the process of flexibility, strength, fitness enjoyable. So even when I'm teaching, I like to put some music on and just sink into the music. Nice breaths in and out. One hip might feel like it's a lot tighter or a little bit tighter than the other. And that's really why we need to do both sides. If there is one hip a little bit tighter, I like to stay a little bit more on that side. Maybe lean forward, long. You can move from side to side a little bit, just feeling out. Just make sure both sides of your cheeks are not getting cheeky and lifting off. They are staying down equally as much as possible. So let's now stretch the front of our hips. So we're going to do a hip flexor stretch. If you need something under the knee, please grab it. Now, we're going to come into the stretch. Now, before we do that, we're going to pull this pelvis bone up so it's connected to our belly button. Pull the ribs in, then come down. That's when we feel the stretch. If you have more capability and you feel like you want to go a little deeper, keep the pelvis tucked and say hi to that back foot and pull it in. But remember to tuck that pelvis. That way you feel more of a stretch here. Slowly release. And just drop the hip down, straighten the knee. And let's change sides. So I'm going to bring the other leg forward. Starting here, the most important bit is pull that pelvis up, belly button in, ribs in, and stay where you feel the stretch. If you sink further, but keep that pelvis tucked. If you have a little bit more, bring that knee in, pelvis tucked, belly button in. Because we want to feel the stretch through here, so it's actually better to back off than it is to go deeper. Extending out, dropping down, straightening the leg. So, from here, we're going to reach into a frog position. So you're going to be here and open. So with that, we're lifting the heels up, so they're really not touching the ground. So we're lifting those heels forward to open up into the hips. Use your fingers behind you to prop yourself up a little bit. Exhale, open, inhale, exhale. So a lot of people struggle with their hips because they don't have the strength needing to get the depth. So working on strength like this is going to get you a lot further to that flat line of a straddle or something of that nature, or leg behind the head, than actually working just static flexibility alone. And I can really feel my glutes as I squeeze out and push my heels up. Okay. Ooh. So, coming down onto the stomach, I'm going to open our legs as wide as the mat. So, we're here, and we're going to turn one leg in and out. In and out. So as I'm turning it, I'm almost lengthening and pushing longer and out. So lengthening longer towards the screen and out. And as I turn out, I'm using my glute in front of my hip. Okay. So you're presenting the whole leg, and the inner thighs become flat on the ground as the heels come in, and then the outer side becomes flat on the ground. I'm going to do both at the same time now. Now we're going to keep the heels down, and we're going to draw in and out. So, the heels are pushing down towards the ground, drawing in and out. Really feel your inner thighs and your glutes and hamstrings. Mine are on fire as I do this. I can feel it through here, here, and the inner thighs. Wrap those heels down towards the ground. Nice. So it's a really nice way to work on the leg muscles and the engagement of the leg. And you may want socks to help you in that position. It could be a little bit uncomfortable. So from here, you're going to go into frog. So you're here. And you're going to widen the legs here. And then you're going to flex and extend out. And then come back to frog. Slowly. Shoulders down. So another option here is just to stay in frog and work at turning your legs out more and just pushing your heels together and holding. From here, you squeeze your glutes, push your hips down and feel the activity in your glutes, inner thighs and your legs as you squeeze your heels together. And you can take your legs wide, release, and then hold for another 10 seconds. And release. All right. Whew. So from here, we're going to move into legs wide. And from here, turn the leg out and in, out and in, out and in. So I'm just rotating in the hip socket itself. Other side. So one side is always less functional than the other. And that's why we do unilateral work, to catch up. So try not to take all the tension here into the hip flexor. Try to hold it into the glute. So sit up tall, use the glute to rotate it externally and come back. So at all times when you're doing it, you can see here, glute active is here. The glute is turning on. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring the legs in. 1, open. 2, 3, 4. You may not get this low, that's okay. 5, internal rotation. 6, 7, 8. From here, turn the legs out. You're going to open the legs long and you're going to push the legs down and squeeze your legs long. Squeeze the inner thighs. Holding. And from here, bring your legs up, turn in, turn out, and release. 2. Got some nice ground noises. 3. 2 more. 4. 5. Whew. I am feeling it. All right. Lying on down. So from here, you're going to circle out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your knees in. We're going to circle in a second. You're using your core a little bit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Woo. So you really feel the fire here when you are circling those legs. You're doing a really long leg line and circling the hips in a small circumduction both ways to allow for the body to open up, okay? You can then release off a little bit, circling. The other way. Now bring one leg down, push your finger into the hip here, and then circle for 3 one way, just to release the joint, and the other way. Nice. So we really want to not only stretch the hips, but as we stretch them and strengthen them, they get a little tight. And so we really want to make them relax a little bit as we do these movements, okay? So we're going to do one more engagement of the glutes. We're going to wrap the heels forward so as much as possible. And you're going to come down into frog, lifting and release. 2 and release. 3 and release. 4, 5. So really think about squeezing the hips out as you do that. 6, 7, 8. So from here, you're going to lift up, extend here, come down, and back. Extend and down. One more. Up. And down. Other side. So turn those heels up. Up. Step down. Keep this other hip out. Up. Extend and down, and down. Keep the heels together, squeeze the glutes, lift a little bit off the ground, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, so your legs should be feeling really, really open and the hips should be strong. So now if you wanted to go into your hip stretches and start to work into them, circles, you're going to start to be able to go deeper into them with a lot more grace, than before because you've opened in strength. So do this strength work a few times a week, then do your stretches, and you're really going to notice this difference between your flexibility. Thanks for joining me. Comment below, let me know how you go, what you're looking for. I'll see you next time. Namaste.